Forensics Tech Guy here. Please like, subscribe, and share my videos. It's important for the YouTube algorithms. Thanks. Now, let's get right to it. We often hear about these two words in the matter of Robert Sylvester Kelly. Double jeopardy. But, what does it mean? Double jeopardy is a procedural defense, primarily in common law jurisdictions, that prevents an accused person from being tried again on the same, or similar, charges following an acquittal in the same jurisdiction. Double jeopardy applies to criminal cases only, not civil or administrative proceedings. That means, for example, that a defendant convicted of a crime isn't immune from a civil lawsuit for damages from the victim of the crime. The prohibition against double jeopardy. At its essence, the Double Jeopardy Clause stops the government from prosecuting or punishing someone multiple times for the same incident. The Fifth Amendment to the U.S. Constitution provides that no person shall be subject for the same offense to be twice put in jeopardy of life or limb. It's a relatively straightforward concept. The government can't prosecute someone more than once for the same crime. In practice, though, the double jeopardy prohibition can get complicated. Jeopardy in the legal sense describes the risk brought by criminal prosecution. With notions of fairness and finality in mind, the framers of the Constitution included the Double Jeopardy Clause to prevent the government from trying or punishing a defendant more than once. Specifically, double jeopardy protects against a prosecution for the same offense after an acquittal, and a prosecution for the same offense after a conviction, and more than one punishment for the same offense. A defendant facing any of these scenarios can hold up the Double Jeopardy Clause as a shield. There are clear instances when this shield is available, such as when a jury has acquitted a defendant and the state brings the same charges a second time. If the prosecution discovered new evidence of the defendant's guilt after the initial trial, too bad. Double jeopardy also bars punishment in certain prototypical scenarios, for example, when the judge tries to resentence someone who has already served the punishment for the crime in question. But there's often not an obvious answer as to whether the Double Jeopardy Clause applies. Certain principles guide courts in making the determination. The federal charges in Chicago accuse Kelly of filming himself having sex with underage girls and of paying off potential witnesses in his 2008 trial, at which he was acquitted. Every form of news media outlets are biased and do not give Mr. Kelly the presumption of his innocence until found guilty in a trial by a jury of his peers. Just Google his name and they have presumed his guilt. This is shameful since the U.S. Constitution says otherwise. Is this why the state of Illinois and the feds in New York added the RICO charges, and Mann Act, as part of the indictment against Mr. Robert Sylvester Kelly? What do you think? Leave your comments below.